All right, ladies and gents, we are back for leg two of our massive double header. And this one, this one is no introduction. FA Cup final day in front of 90,000 at Wembley. The Battle of the Blues. Chelsea and Manchester City are in for an absolute belter, I feel like, here. City have made a few changes that might have caught a few people off guard. But if it's anything like the last game we watched between Celtic and Hearts, are in for an absolute belter. Quick check in with the lineup. Starting with Chelsea, Rob Sanchez returns in goal. I think he's wearing a head guard today for this one. João Hatso, Levi Cole, Wesley Fofana, and Malo Gusto at the back. It is going to be Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez in midfield with Marco Correa, Enzo Fernandez, Cole Palmer, all supporting João Pedro up top. For City, James Trafford in goal, Mateus Nunes a right back, Nico O'Reilly plays on the left-hand side of the defence with Kusanov and Guehi at the heart of it. Rodri, Bernardo Silva in midfield. It's Antoine Semenyo, Uma Marmouche, Jeremy Doku, all supporting Erling Haaland, which means no Donnarumma, no Ake, no Diaz, no Shirky, no Foden for Manchester City. But a still very, very solid side nonetheless. Quickly sort this camera out and we're almost ready to go. Alrighty, we are a go here for the Emirates FA Cup final. Here is Callum McFarlane. He's only got one win in his time as interim Chelsea manager. That came here at Wembley only a few weeks ago against Leeds United to win that game 1-0. But mustn't we forget, his first game in charge was against Manchester City, and he picked up a point against Pep Guardiola's side at the Etihad. Pep, once again, at Wembley, somewhere where he's become so accustomed to since taking over this Manchester City side. Look at Bernardo Silva talking to his troops. He's been fabulous this campaign. City have been here early this campaign. Obviously, they won that Carabao Cup final versus Arsenal. Such an important time of the Premier League season back then. We thought that was the start of something special. It still could be special for Manchester City. Let's just wait and see. Not long now. Last time Chelsea beat Manchester City was the Champions League final all those years ago. Since there's been 14 meetings between these two great clubs, all have gone in favour of Pep Guardiola's side. Here we are now, seconds away from kickoff. We're underway at Wembley. Cole Palmer getting us kicked off. It's a battle of the Blues. Chelsea in their traditional navy blue, kicking from right to left. Manchester City in the sky blue from left to right. Here's a chance for Pep Guardiola to add trophy 20 to his cabinet for his time at Manchester City. Chance for City to domestic double. For Chelsea and for Callum McFarlane, it's a chance to create history for himself, picking up his first major trophy in charge of such a massive football club, and for them to also maybe sweeten what has been a really, really tumultuous season for them. Club World Cup champions, but has not gone to plan this season, in season 25-26. So many subplots, so much to talk about today. We've got 90 minutes to decide who are the domestic kings of England. The biggest cup competition in the world comes to a dramatic conclusion today. Interesting to see that Kusanov and Guehi continue despite their shakiness away at Everton only a few weeks ago. But it was these two in the League Cup final that really were dazzling and stood out, marking the start of their turnaround in form. The second half of the season. Jeremy Doku, physical with him was Wesley Fofana. Levi Colwill obviously started this game for Chelsea as well. Made his first comeback start last weekend. The same time slot versus Liverpool. It's such a long time out, but such a talented player who had so much quality and insurance this Chelsea backline. It does look like, though, Chelsea are going to go with the back five. Marc Cucurella is going to be in a left wing-back position rather than a left wing spot than what we saw for him last week against Liverpool. So important that midfield battle. We talk about it a lot here in the channel, but Rodri and Bernardo Silva, they grace the Wembley turf so often, and they create such a point of difference in different times of different campaigns. Just feel like yet again versus a combative midfield like Enzo, Reece James and Moises Caicedo, they're going to be their very best here. Nico O'Reilly, think ball over the top looking for Jeremy Doku. A little bit overhit there. Cloudy London day, but looks fine nonetheless. As you can see there, Rob Sanchez with his new headgear on. Maybe you might embrace the great head-wearing goalkeeper of their past in Petr Cech. Umar Marmoush being pulled and pushed by Moises Caicedo. That's gone unwhistled. Obviously, the Egyptian coming into the sun off the back of a very strong performance versus Palace midweek and always performing well whenever he comes into the side. But quite surprisingly, replacing Rayan Cherki, who he dazzled in that Carabao Cup final versus Arsenal early in the season. But like we did and saw on that day there, Man City will build. They will start slow. They will work their way into the matchup. They'll make the opposition chase. And then once they're ready to fire, like we saw against Arsenal late in the first half and into the second half, they can kill the game off in a matter of 10 to 15 minutes, as is the quality of Erling Haaland, Jeremy Doku, Umar Marmoush and company. Kusinov, now with Rodri. Good to see him back in the starting 11 as City chase that elusive Premier League title. That is firmly in Arsenal's court. Ball now with Mark Guehi. Expecting to rack up 80 to 90 touches of the football as City continue to keep possession and keep Chelsea at bay, who are quite happy to sit in their shape right now. Not too keen to go out into a press. Just had a play. Cucurella gets the throw for Chelsea. Now Hatso playing as that left-sided centre-half of the three. And Marmoush and Caicedo going into it off the ball. But here comes Marc Cucurella on the left-hand side. He's got the better of Mateus Nunes, who just bundles him over. I like this from the referees. Let them play, Darren England. Avenue forward there for Chelsea. Just couldn't make it count, though. And Mateus Nunes, who has had a great campaign all in all, continues to show his quality. We've already seen Moises Caicedo and Umar Marmoush tussling, and then right there, Cucurella being bundled over. It's got a good bit of physicality to this game in the early 5 minutes. Callum McFarlane obviously will set his side up to counter-attack, to stay compact in a shape and look to target set plays and counter movements to get the better of this Manchester City side. But Pep Guardiola, he's been here so many times, and this City side now has been here so many times. They'll just play between the lines and keep Chelsea moving from side to side. But so far, it's gone as expected. City have owned the ball. And Chelsea are chasing, and once again, Kusinov bundling over João Pedro. And the referee saying, I'm not having a bar of that. Here comes Bernardo Silva. He's got Antoine Semenyo far right of him. Marc Cucurella backpedaling. Semenyo cutting inside. Antoine Semenyo. Shot blocked. Oh, Marmoush. And the first attempt on goal was timid, but in favour of Manchester City. Marmoush trying to just almost use the outside of that right foot there. Collects his ankle. Wonder if he'd taken the left foot, it would have produced a much better result. But nonetheless, we play on. Bernardo Silva, who already keeps picking up these dangerous pockets for Manchester City. Nunez cross-field passes, partially broken up by Palmer. Nico O'Reilly's there to win it. Then playing Margehi. It's a lazy pass around the corner from Marmoush. And then finally the referee calls a foul as Bernardo Silva's tripped. Hato there just leaving one on Silva. That's a blatant foul. He stepped on top of him. I'm going to catch our breath here. Manchester City free kick. 35 yards out. Very central position. But Bernardo Silva. Oh no, he's walked away from it. I thought his trickery might be key for this sort of position, but looks like Antoine Semenyo fancies it. And he really is keen for this. Full run-up from Semenyo. Kusanov also standing over it. So then, Bernardo Silva. He's going to be Semenyo. Struck it well. Well blocked in the end. And Palmer's just knocked that ahead of Nico O'Reilly, and Kusanov's come across and won the ball fairly. Uzbekistani centre-half. Fantastic defensive work there from him. Covers ground so well. One of his strong suits of his game. Umar Marmoush starting again at Wembley. And what happened last year. I don't want to bring that up for City fans, but has there been great recent history for City at Wembley in terms of FA Cup finals? Losing last year to Crystal Palace. Obviously, that was the Goodfield story then. And then the year before to Manchester United. Erik ten Hag's last trophy with that club. O'Reilly finding Marmoush in the channel. Hato with him every step of the way. Jeremy Doku feeding in Nico O'Reilly. And well blocked away by Wesley Fofana. And City already looking dangerous. Great initial ball from Nico O'Reilly to find Marmoush. And then he continues his run in that little channel. And Doku just delays the pass smartly to allow him more space. The cross was blocked. Doku now. Dinked in. Rodri! Oh! Shot Pedro in the way. High boot from Haaland. That was quite an obvious one. Early chance there for Rodri. He somehow escaped free at the back post. Enzo scanning. Oh, he might have been off, but Enzo scanning there, but never actually closes the space. Ten minutes into this one. I had a nice little feel about it. Rodri heads back quite comfortably to the Cup goalkeeper, James Trafford, who continues to be preferred over Gianluigi Donnarumma in goal, and will obviously look for a move in the summer. Obviously, this World Cup was supposed to be his chance to try and break through. But after initially starting for City and Donnarumma then joining within the first week of the season, it has not gone his way. Semenyo now. Cucurella has the back pedal. Antoine Semenyo, brilliant. Drops it off to Mateus Nunez. Cucurella does very well to stay with him every step of the way. The Spaniard all over the Portuguese. But keeps the ball well, Mateus Nunez, as a great midfielder would do. Semenyo. City like playing down his right-hand side, especially with the physicality and agility of Antoine Semenyo. City fans find their voice. Doku dropping off to Mark Gehi. He looked for the ball in the channel again to Nico O'Reilly. but couldn't find the young left back. Margate looking for back-to-back FA Cup title wins. Obviously, he was a part of that great Crystal Palace side, including Eberechi, Eza, Jean-Philippe Mateta, Adam Morton and co. last year. That were absolutely fabulous. See the stats there. 12 minutes in, 77% possession in favour of Manchester City. But as I keep saying, we've seen that now the last few seasons, and it hasn't always led to victory in this competition. Enzo does well there to win that ball back. João Pedro now bundled over by Rodri. That's a foul for the Brazilian. That's what Chelsea need to do. Win the ball back in these sort of tight-knit areas between the thirds and try and compete in those 50-50 battles. 4 shots to naught. 103 passes. Double that of what Chelsea have produced. Here's their chance on the ball. Enzo Fernandez looking long. João Pedro's in behind. Is there a flag? Yes, there is. It's the Brazilian. Oh, just off. Not much in that. Gehi and Kusanov are able to play that high line with their speed, but can be dangerous, particularly in these cup finals. Doku, away from 1, 2, and 3 challenges. The Belgian continues to dazzle. Matheus Nunes now. Semenyo. Cucurella once again has to backpedal. Dangerous ball from Semenyo. Had no takers though. And if you're in a cup competition, you got to buy a ticket. No one wanted it here. Look, it's asking a lot. But some dangerous attackers in there that you thought would chase that ball in. In the absence of Ryan Cherki, Antoine Semenyo looks like that final ball. The former Bournemouth man has not been unbelievable for Manchester City, but has fired where he's needed to. Today might be another occasion. They look to the Ghanaian to be a point of difference. Quarter of an hour down. Pep Guardiola pacing up and down in his technical area. As he's come so used to here at Wembley. There's a lot made of this cup final for Pep Guardiola, with once again the rumours circling. Does he go on next season? Chance for him to win his 20th trophy in charge of Manchester City. Making 24 visits now to Wembley in only 10 years there at Manchester City. In that 10-year reign, Chelsea have had 10 separate managers. Just goes to show the stability of one football club and the upheaval of another. How success can breathe calmness and how calmness can breathe success. Sort of hand-in-hand, symbiotic type relationship. And that's what Pep Guardiola is all about. Despite his antics on the touchline, he's a man of calmness. And he hands that to this Manchester City side. Sanchez collecting there quite comfortably. Great battling there from João Pedro to get ahead of Margate, but conceding the throw to Manchester City. Don't want to say it, but I'm seeing a lot of red empty seats in the City end, which is a shame on a cup final day, especially FA Cup final day. Here is Margate. He'll look to book his ticket to the US with England and be that starting centre half of the 3 lines. Rodri feeding in to find Antoine Semenyo, who gets away for the initial Cucurella challenge. I'm not very happy at all with the linesman. He plays on the edge, Cucurella. That's what you love about him. So talking to for Cucurella. I think he thinks it's nicked off Semenyo's foot there where he belted the ball out of play. He's holding up the two fingers. He must think there's 2 times that's happened. The ever competitive Marc Cucurella. Nico O'Reilly. Chelsea all on the edge of their own area right now. And City, every City player in the Chelsea half going to show the dominance that we've seen in the early moments. Here's Kusanov. Marmouche, the Egyptian, just coming out to receive that. He's obviously going to be a key figure at the World Cup for Egypt. If they want to go deep in that competition, they'll require Mohamed Salah and Marmouche to be involved, and that's asking a lot of Bernardo Silva. Thumbs up, though, to the centre half for the ball in behind, but it's overhit to find the Portuguese international. Chelsea have withstood and held strong in the opening 20 minutes. Haven't offered much going forward themselves, but you know, when called upon, they can show some quality, in particular with Palmer and João Pedro. And their ability. Pedro rising up. Gets his first contact, but Nico O'Reilly in the seconds. Gusto with Doku every step of the way, but too tightly. Referee Darren England there just saying, had a tug of his shirt. It's 4-1 back in midfield. Enzo Fernandez now. Is this Chelsea's chance to get at City? Cucurella feeds it into João Hato. He's wandered up the pitch here, and here's Malo Gusto. Chance to cross. Whoa, it's dangerous ball. That required a horizontal Mateus Nunes header to deny Cucurella a chance at the back post. And Chelsea's first real movement forward has caused all sorts of problems. Stretching the game. Dangerous ball in. And a quite smart defensive action from Mateus Nunes at right back. Chelsea's first corner of the match. Now fancy this. Reece James goes short. Yes, a return ball and cycles Malo Gusto. And they're all the way back now to the halfway line, so that has not gone to plan. So the corner kick's going to end up all the way with the goalkeeper in the space of 20 seconds, and that's where the game's gone. Long from Sanchez, and once again, Pedro's winning the 50-50 battle versus Kusanov. But City winning the ball. Trafford releases quickly. Semenyo. Gusto's ended up on the left-hand side here for the moment. That's a loose pass from Rodri. That's unlike him. Mark Colwell equally as careless with possession. Nico O'Reilly can get to a gallop and release Jeremy Doku. Body feints, gets inside, but gets inside without the football. Cole Palmer dinks away. Met by Mark Gahey. And now we've got a foot race. João Pedro's got the better of Kusanov. But the Uzbeki's got back well. It's still Pedro. And he slipped. Massive chance goes missing. Was dangerous over Chelsea. That's where they can cause City problems. One ball over the top and all of a sudden the highlight of City's exposed. And you know Pedro's a willing runner in behind. He's caused City problems in the past with Brighton. So what Chelsea have got, they've got workman-like players today. Caicedo, Enzo, Reece James, all in that midfield. The creativity and spark of Palmer and Pedro. There's danger there. I think back to the box midfield of Manchester United from 2 seasons ago. The low block of Crystal Palace with their outlets with Mateta and Eza, and how direct Wharton was when he was on the football. The blueprint's there. Halfway through this first 45, still nothing to separate these two sides. Just trying to play their way out here, and they're doing it well so far. Reece James under pressure from Doku. He's won it back. Haaland. Oh. He's just fizzed it across the face of goal. He had Semenyo free on the edge of the area. And Chelsea have gotten away with one. They've dodged a massive bullet. And that's the danger of this modern day City side. They can press. And boy, they can do that well. Loose ball won by Colwell. He skips away. Pedro's ball is, well, just wild. This game's just picked up a notch in the last few minutes. We've got a stoppage here. As long as this Caicedo is down. Chelsea dodge another bullet there. It is still mental to me that Erling Haaland has not scored at Wembley. The amount of time now he's spent in England. 37 goals in the campaign, 8 assists. Not bad for a bad season for the Norwegian. But would love a goal at Wembley here today. Been the story of a lot of their recent trips to Wembley. Will he score? Well, that was an early chance there. This Caicedo's in a spot of bother here. Picked up a knock to the back of his leg, it looks like. Just struggling to get that knee moving. So back underway here with Kusanov. City finds just to keep the ball here amongst their defenders. It's been mostly one-way traffic, but we saw only a few minutes ago Chelsea's threat in transition. They will have that threat all game long versus City side and the way they play their football. Here's Colwell turning away from Haaland and finding Ecuadorian Caicedo. Feeding in Enzo Fernandez. Oh, I looked to slip one in behind for João Pedro. Well broken up though by Kusanov. Enzo bundles over Bernardo Silva. And City play quickly. Here's Matheus Nunes. Semenyo furthest right. That's a dangerous ball to find Matheus Nunes. Nunes! Haaland! Flag's up. Flag is up. And I thought that was the moment that Erling Haaland scored his first goal at Wembley. He looked offside, Matheus Nunes, but for a moment, just a moment, I thought, yeah, he's well off in the end. But smart little move there from City. Once again, the danger of this right-hand side, Matheus Nunes and Antoine Semenyo, always causing Pep Guardiola quickly to pause his celebrations. Early chances at both ends of the park. Majority of the play, though, has been with the citizens. That's loose from Kusanov. Bernardo Silva, an important intervention. Last line of defence stuff there to Nigel Pedro. And that's what Chelsea were looking to target. Kusanov and Guehi, despite being great defenders and quick defenders at that, they're not perfect on the football. And there's chances for them, if they can dispossess those two centre-halves, they get a little bit too excited on the football. Wesley Fofana getting some ground there and feeding Malo Gusto, but Nico Riley missed the Wembley himself. With a great tackle there. Bernardo Silva keeping Enzo Fernandez at bay. Doku, little nutmeg on Palmer, and a secondary one on Enzo Fernandez. And Enzo goes in twice. And the referee doesn't like it. It's going to be a yellow card, I think so, yeah. Oh, gee, it's a bad... Oh, gee. That's a bad one. Oh. Oh. I'll tell you what. Wouldn't be complaining about that for Enzo Fernandez, because that is ugly. And obviously, replays are not great to watch. They never are. But that's an ugly challenge. Pep is incensed, and so was the City. But you can tell the City bench was up straight away. They did not like that challenge on Bernardo Silva. I'll tell you what, Portugal fans didn't like it either, because that man cannot be injured for the World Cup. Kusanov. Enzo Fernandez has an early booking. Caicedo around the corner. James. Gusto doing well here. Chelsea under the pressure and the press of Man City. Who, at the same time in the Carabao Cup final, just turned up the wick. Palmer offside. Yeah, well off in the end. Now João Pedro's going down. Has he got a bite or something there? Oh, great work from Palmer. Here he goes. Twinkle toes. Oh. And Kusanov momentarily had no idea where the ball went. But his clearance finds Antoine Semenyo. And City come the other way. Cucurella had to take actions into his own hands. He'll pick up a yellow card for that. Wasn't anything you can really do with that. He was one out with Semenyo. That's a place that no one wants to beat. So chaos. One end, Chelsea chance. The other end, Semenyo through on goal. It's magic of the cup, isn't it? Poor chance for Cucurella, but he knew he had to make the foul. So 2 Chelsea players in the book, Cucurella and Enzo. So Bernardo Silva over this set piece. Can see he produced something from a set play maybe. Goes short to Rodri. Gets a return ball to Bernardo. And now Semenyo can now get at Cucurella, who's on a booking. One way the next, Semenyo. Oh, gee. That's unlike him. That is very rash. He had Cucurella sliding all over the place. He had the shooting opportunity. Just wasted the chance. Look at this. Cucurella backpedaling, loses his footing. Did the hard bit. Just had to hit the target. Not to be for the Ghanaian. Doku. Trying to nutmeg Gusto again. In the end, bundles him over. Is there a foul in favour of those in dark blue? Nico O'Reilly can skip away from Palmer. Find Jeremy Doku. And Rodri just popping up whatever he wants to right now. As is the IQ of the former Ballon d'Or winner, Kusanov. The searching ball that no one wants a piece of. Given away. Palmer turning away from Rodri. Can't string together a few passes right now, Kusanov. They've been bold, but still, the link has not been there from the Uzbekistani centre-half. Palmer is just starting to get a foothold in this game. And Gusto. That cross straight into the hands of James Trafford, who greatly oblige. 10 minutes to go in this first half. Rodri to Bernardo. We'll miss saying those two names in unison next campaign as Bernardo Silva takes his talents elsewhere. Here's Mark Gahey. Into Bernardo Silva. Now back out with Nico O'Reilly. City just probing for the moment. Trying to fashion a way through this Chelsea low block. Dink ball for Semenyo at the back post. Cucurella does well. Enzo Fernandez he just drops to the ground, and I'm not a big fan of that foul from the referee. Enzo was in a lot of trouble and he decides to lose his footing rather than fight for that 50-50 ball. Great pass from Caicedo between the lines. Nico Riley does well there, just to get rid. Cole will chest it down to his centre-half partner in Fofana. Malo Gusto has to keep the ball here and does well. Chelsea just trying to possess for the moment and play through this Man City side. They're doing that well here. Skipper Reece James. Malo Gusto to the furthest right. All of a sudden slows the pace down as Chelsea try and just keep a hold of the ball and keep City chasing. Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez. Got an overload at the back post, and one of them is Malo Gusto. The cut back. Gay has to stoop down, take that ball away. And the Chelsea fans and their team are lifting. They're finishing this half the stronger of the two. 7 minutes and change to go. Engaging as always throughout the cup final. Callum McFarlane's men are just starting to express themselves a little bit more. Starting to open up a little bit more, play through the lines, feed the ball into the likes of Caicedo and Enzo in midfield and let them go to work. That's when Chelsea look at their tip-top best. Haven't been perfect, those two. Yeah, he and Kusinov, but they've done a very good job today. Reece James. That's a dangerous ball. Malo Gusto's got the beating of pace for Mark Gahey. Fantastic block for the Englishman. Reece James continues his run. He drops off to Cole Palmer. The cutback. Oh, just over Pedro and had too much for Cucurella. Once again, though, James involved. And Palmer and Chelsea looking the better of the two sides. It's been a good 6 or so minutes here for Chelsea. Starting to flex their muscles now. Reece James. Hato. Cucurella now. The chant of Chelsea ringing out around Wembley. You can feel the London presence here under the Archers. Caicedo, great turn. Gusto. Palmer's a willing runner in the channels again. Rodri out to meet him. Palmer's ball. Bernardo Silva, an important touch. Chelsea corner. And City are rocking right now. Palmer's starting to look like his former self, it almost feels like. He's looking like the man going forward for for Chelsea right now. James outswinger. Haaland defensive header. Cucurella comes in. Haaland heads away again. Caicedo can retrieve. You feel like this is a massive 5 minutes for City. They need to just withstand this Chelsea wave. Cucurella. Ding for Hato. Gahey there. Does well to win the free kick. Off the Dutchman. Jean Hato. It's a worried expression for Pep Guardiola because his side have not quite been at the races. There is a difference maker in Ryan Cherki. You might think to see him straight after half-time. Probably replacing Omar Marmoush. He hasn't really put a foot wrong, but hasn't done enough. Hasn't done what Ryan Cherki can do. Trafford eventually getting us back underway. And in the end, putting it into touch. There is the English manager, Thomas Tuchel. Obviously the former Chelsea manager, the only one, well, the last manager, sorry, to have beaten Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. Oh, João Pedro looking for Cole Palmer, running in behind. He just looks rejuvenated today, Cole Palmer. He looks willing to make the effort to run in behind and to stretch this back line, and that's created all sorts of problems. Doku. Two and a bit minutes to go here in this first half. Started in favour of the Sky Blues. It's ended in favour of those in navy blue. Oh, it's a great ball in behind. Haaland! Oh! Out of nothing, Erling Haaland almost bags. And that's the threat of Manchester City. Look at this pass picked out from Gay. Slips it between two of the three centre-halves, and Haaland, strong run. That's a better effort on goal. Very savable for Sanchez, but it's all about hitting the target. And the big Norwegian search for a goal at Wembley continues. Doku. Skips down the bar line. Cuts it back for Bernardo Silva. Dinked in looking for Gay. He's in a bit of a tussle. Rodri. Semenyo now. Wants that right foot. This is the counter punch that City needed. Semenyo. Well kept alive from Palmer. Great defending for Chelsea. They've shown it here in the last quarter of an hour. They can tussle with this City side. And the battle of midfield, I guess Chelsea is just coming out on top right now. Especially with how easy that Rodri has been beaten in terms of being run past. Caicedo, James, Palmer, and Enzo all starting to link the game up well. Bernardo Silva looking for and finding Jeremy Doku. He's got enough pace to keep it in play, but not do anything with that ball. 3 minutes of stoppages in this first half. Oh, given away for Bernardo Silva. João Pedro in behind. That's got to be a penalty. That has to be a penalty. No, says Darren England. Oh. Oh. VAR will have to have a look. I think that could be a penalty. I don't think Kuznov actually gets in front of him. Oh, he might have actually. It's in the box. It's coming together. I didn't think Kuznov was actually in front of João Pedro, but it looks like he is at point of contact. So no penalty. That is the right call. Fair play, Darren England. Got it right. They've gotten away with one there. Bernardo Silva giving away the football. I guess you can say Kusanov saved the day yet again. That closing speed is second to none. Fafano away. James crossfield pass. Finding Cucurella, who drops it off to Enzo. Chance to stand up Rodri and drive. Looks like we'll end the half as we started it. 30 seconds to go. Chelsea might end up just passing it out. But not shy of entertainment in the first 45. End to end. Counter-attacking chances. Chelsea showing up, which is massive for the tie. And well, Man City, they've shown their vulnerabilities yet again. Maybe there is a chance here to end the first half. James just gives it away to Doku. That will be that. City started stronger. Had the lion's share possession. A few half chances. But as the first half grew to a close, it was Chelsea. It was Pedro. It was Palmer. And it was Reece James pulling the strings. In the end, though, no massive glaring chances for either side. 0-0 at the interval. Short break ahead, and we'll be back to the second half action very, very soon. Stay with us, guys. Second half FA Cup final action just around the corner. Alrighty guys, second half action, not too far away now. We're left with a goalless first half, but there wasn't a lack of chances or opportunities. Hope the second half can deliver on the absence of goals. City are getting us kicked off here, looking from right to left in the second half, attacking their fans behind their goal. And Chelsea will kick from left to right and attack the fans behind that goal at the opposite end. Gusto just feeling the effects of that challenge there. Start the second half off. Callum McFarlane so far has done well enough. Hatso. Around the corner, off the back of Gay's heel. Hatso. And Cherki on after the half-time interval for Omar Marmoush. That's the only change. Can they respond? Here is Rayan Cherki. Dazzling feet. Finds O'Reilly. Dinked in. Semenyo! Narrowly over the crossbar. And hitting the top of the net. But that was much better from City. It was eerily similar to how they opened the scoring versus Arsenal in the League Cup final. A ball from out wide, dinked in towards the back post. Antoine Semenyo just rises above João Hatso, but couldn't get his head over the ball. In the end, heads it onto the top of the net. João Pedro, very open start this second half. Team's almost bypassing the midfield. Cole. Enzo's drifted out wide left again. Mateus Nunes has fouled him in the process. You can see how Chelsea approached this. They managed the first half really well. The second half, City can be a totally different animal. There's a different tempo to the game once you get into these moments. Some problems with this stream, always lagging. It's given away up the pitch. Semenyo. Oh, missing the pass in the final third at the most important time of all. Enzo Fernandez has fouled again. Chelsea get the bailout. Mateus Nunes is not missing an opportunity to get in and foul Enzo Fernandez at any given moment. Sanchez looking long. Kusanov reads that well. So does Rodri. City can get out now. Mark Gay, Nico O'Reilly. City just playing keep ball for the moment. As I was saying, second half are a totally different beast. City will probably come and press a little bit higher up the pitch and close those passing lanes for Chelsea. I think for Chelsea, it's their ability to play through that. That's been the biggest thing for me. We saw it signs of it to end the first half, but as the tempo rises and as the jeopardy of the game also increases, so does the importance of what they can do with the football. Here it is here, Semenyo pressing and fouling Levi Colwill, and that is just a warning sign of what I just said there. The press will be different this second half, especially with Cherki, Doku and Semenyo reunited in behind Erling Haaland. The threat is absolutely there for City. There is Ryan Cherki getting across and causing all sorts of problems for Sanchez, and as such the keeper's put that out of play. So, as I said it's happened. City have upped the tempo. The They've upped the pressure. Now can they just make it tick on the football? You know, this man here, Shirky, is going to be key to that. Doku dropping it off to Mark Gahey. Away from Cole Palmer, Jeremy Doku. Darting inside. Going over. City fans want to foul it. The player's necessarily interested. Oh, Doku is interested. Palmer might have gotten away with one there. Wasn't in the box though, so I don't get any review on that. It's a poor giveaway from Rodri. Fofana's made a lung-busting run to get forward. Caicedo. Palmer. Great turn. Gusto's far right. Got some space to gallop into. The cut back was poor and straight into the path of Mark Gahey. Enzo Fernandez is obviously going to be a player that's going to be vital to the second half display. 14 goals and 6 assists in the season. João Pedro, 20 goals and 6 assists. Those two, for me, seem to be the men that are going to be the difference makers in the second half. Yes, Cole Palmer has been fabulous, and we know he will be, but it's those two alongside him. I just feel like that we need to lift their game. It's another 10 to 12%. They want to get a positive result here, whether that be in the 90, 120, or from the spot kick. And Trafford's just let that run out of play. That is a very strange moment for a keeper. It's normally very composed. Yeah, it is clearly over the line. Great call from down England once again. City are just not looking their bulletproof best. Chelsea fans rising as one. Trafford got it. And then Rodri off the line. Caicedo headed back into a dangerous area. What's a header from Rodri off the line? Because Trafford had come and got the first ball, but was he getting there for the second? No. Important intervention from Rodri in the line. Game still 0-0. Doku inside of Gusto. Palmer tracking back. Oh, nothing in that from Cole Palmer. That's ridiculous. Cup final, get up. With Robert Sanchez, he searching for Cucurella and finds him. Fabulous work from the Spaniard. He looks to spin in behind now. But yet again, Kusanov is there. No, he's not. The referee didn't lock that. He's going to have a yellow card for that. Wow. That's amusing. He's got the ball. Now Kusanov's on a tightrope. Chelsea's only win under Callum McFarlane came in this competition at this ground. Can he make it 2 wins at this ground for this club? Because Chelsea really look on top here. Since the 30th minute mark of the first half, they've been the better side. They've played the more dangerous football. I just feel like this game's on a bit of a tightrope and a knife edge right now, and it could end up going either way. Reece James to deliver this one into the box. Pedro Fofana, Colwell all there. Nunez wins the ball. Doku also wins the ball, despite the penalty shouts. Enzo comes off O'Reilly's arm, but it's tucked in. So this is a penalty. He's got his arms tucked in. Yeah, he can't pay that. Not a chance, that's handball. He's turned away from it as well. The referee's not got much wrong today. Fair play to him. Listen to the roar behind that goal. Chelsea fans are up for this. They can sense blood in the water. Ball towards the near post, dealt with by Mateus Fernandes. In the end, Fofana couldn't redirect that header towards goal. Goal kick, City. City, as I said, they're not looking as rock solid as they have since the turn of the year. It's been a theme of things the last 5 or 6 games, and right now Chelsea, they're bossing this game. To remain 0-0 as we approach the hour mark. Nunez. Into Doku. Gusto's had a very good game today, keeping Doku relatively quiet. It's an impossible job to keep him totally quiet, but he's done the best job he possibly could. Semenyo. 2 great challenges from Hatto. Bernardo Silva. Met with a wall of navy blue Chelsea outfits. And Caicedo out of trouble. Reece James turning and looking for Palmer, and Margay, as he always is, in the way. Yeah, just turning up the wick here, Chelsea. They've gone up to gear 5, and City are still in gear 2. And despite the introduction of Ryan Shirky, hasn't really gone near it. Doku looking to turn away from Fofana. And end up tackling him to the ground. And Pep wants a substitution. He wants someone across. It's Mateo Kovacic, who's a former Chelsea player. Is it going to be for Bernardo? Is it going to be for Rodri? You think Rodri's been the worst of the two, but I don't think you can take a Rodri off in a game like this. But Kovacic is made for these type of battles with Caicedo and Reece James. Obviously a former Chelsea player as well. This will mean something to him. Had an injury-interrupted year. We know Mateo Kovacic at his very best is a top player. Cucurella wins that back. Chelsea just a good foot ahead of City right now. Reece James. Well, Augustin, they're starting to just dictate possession as well. City penned in for the moment. 60% of the ball in the second half for the Blues. I'm hearing Rodri will be one replaced. Just goes to show the struggles of the former Ballon d'Or winner today. Trafford off his line and collecting comfortably. Sheki can turn. He's got company in the form of Jeremy Doku. He's now with Ryan Shirky. Ever creative, and well, that wasn't it from him. He gives it to Cucurella. Looks to feed out Pedro. Nunez there with him. Oh, and despite being crowded, he turns away from trouble. And there goes the Brazilian. João Pedro. Nunez gets in ahead of him. Fabulous work from the Portuguese. Listen to the roar. It's going to be big. Interesting to see the reaction from the crowd when Rodri's number gets put up on the substitutions board. Something that no one would have seen coming. Props to Chelsea. They have played this one to a T. They've endured some of the tough times early on. Now they're playing football. It's a great give and go with Cucurella and Hatso, and I think it's out of play. It is. That's offside. The referee has paid offside. Doku beaten by Malo Gusto, who continues to show his quality today. Enzo. Releasing Caicedo. Away from that challenge and advantage played. And here's Gusto. That's dangerous. And João Pedro just throws himself to the ground again. And ending in that. Darren England has made the right call all day long. And yeah, there's nothing in that. Nico O'Reilly gave it away, but Doku won it back. And skipped away from 2 and 3. And Shirky now. And James got to take him to ground. He's away from Enzo as well. Right, and Shirky. That French pizzazz. He wants to lift this City side. Here's Antoine Semenyo. Can always make something out of nothing. Shirky. Fizzing a ball into Jeremy Doku. Now Mark Gehi. Dinked in ball. It's Bernardo Silva coming at the back post. Kovacic keeps it alive. Into the feet of Jeremy Doku. They send 2 to him. Doku, ball in, blocked behind by Fofana. Now City's turn. This is much better from them. Shirky driving. Doku producing that final end product. That's when City are at their best. Nothing in that between Kusanov and João Pedro. a weak call if it is. Shirky over to take this corner kick. Outswinger here. City's third of the game. Nico Riley and Erling Haaland closest to the goalkeeper. Kovacic and Mark Gahey on the penalty spot. About to say it's a different night to what we've seen recently, but then we get a tangle between Gahey and Caicedo. The referee just saying to him, everyone's watching. Don't do anything silly. That's a fair warning to Moises Caicedo. Shirky plays short. Doku is there for that. Recycle to Ryan Shirky. He got a right-footed ball. Mark Gahey keeps it alive, but the marking by Caicedo was good enough. João Pedro's touch gets away from him, and Kovacic in the black boots there to retrieve. That's very FA Cup looking. Semenyo doing well. Cucurella doing better. He had a play for another City corner, though. Is this the swing of momentum that those City fans want? Approach the 70-minute mark. 20 and change to go. And there's Silva's delivery. No one really in and around the box to deal with that. And Nunez searches back for his goalkeeper, Trafford. Shirky. That's a extravagant looking ball, but only found the gloves of Robert Sanchez. Palmer got told to get to his feet. The referee just intervening at the right time. I'm glad he's not called every foul on Cole Palmer. I think it was actually Darren England last weekend that was heavy in the whistle in the Liverpool-Chelsea game where Cole Palmer just grabbed the ball on most occasions. There's about 4 fouls there on Kovacic before Caicedo wins the ball. That pass is loose and picked off by Hatto. Pedro rises. He's flicked header though, only finding the Englishman Mark Gahey, who has been rock solid today. Nunez feeding in to find Antoine Semenyo. Shirky's dropped in and looked to feed in Bernardo Silva. Haaland picks up the scraps. It is now Bernardo. Here comes City. Haaland. Ball in. Semenyo! What a goal! Antoine Semenyo! On the big stage again. That's a special finish and a special goal on a special day. Never ride out Manchester City. And that silky Semenyo strike again. Oh, it's a beautiful move from City. Back to front. Fabulous. It all starts with Ryan Shirky deep. He picks the ball up almost as a right back and makes that driving run that opens the game up. There it is. He gets it off Antoine Semenyo. Tries to find Bernardo Silva. Haaland picks up the scraps. Eventually gets the ball to Bernardo Silva. Then this is where the magic happens. Haaland making that run. Cut back on. Semenyo, little backheel effort. It's stunning. It's sensational, Semenyo. It's scintillating City. And I tell you what, they're closer and closer to a domestic double. And all of a sudden, as Chelsea started to build, City strike. And that's what this team does best. Big games, big occasions, big players step up. And this season, there's no bigger than Antoine Semenyo. City won to the good. And Chelsea have to chase this game now with 18 minutes to go. How do you respond now if you're Callum McFarlane and Chelsea? Do they go to the bench or do they trust this current crew to get the job done? Look at the touches in the opposition box. Semenyo's at 8. He started this game like a house on fire. Yes, he faded out of it, but the brilliance of the man, he always finds a way to impact a game of football. And all of a sudden now it's the City fans in fine voice. The Chelsea fans stunned into silence. Oh! Enzo nearly equalising straight away. That was almost the instant response from Chelsea. Cole with the first contact and Enzo sticks out a right foot. Inches away from equalising. So Cucurella makes way and Pedro Neto on demand. As I was saying, who do they call upon? They call upon Pedro Neto. Direct speed and trickery. Can that be enough to find a way for Callum McFarlane's men back into this game? I've got to be honest, they probably deserve it with the football they've played, but you just know with City, all they need is one chance. Here's O'Reilly. And for Chelsea, you've got to be wary, though, because you know what happened in the other cup final. It took 5 minutes and this game was done. Could happen again. Doku. Still Doku. He likes his situation, doesn't he? Kovacic. Semenyo keeps that in play. Shirky around the corner brilliantly to find Bernardo Silva, who just loses out in that 50-50 battle, and Hato can run away. Chelsea pinned in right now by the City press. That's almost loose. Sanchez, that was an interesting kick. It's Doku back into the game, and he's going to run at Malo Gusto. City have their swagger back. All it took was one brilliant move, and they're back alive. Doku, Shirky, looked for the return ball, but missed his kick. João Pedro with great hold-up play. Gahey takes him out. Neto wants to run past Kovacic. And met by the Gahey brick wall. He has been unbelievable today, Mark Gahey. And if they go on to win this one, it's got to be up there for man of the match. Probably alongside Antoine Semenyo. Chelsea go to a 4 now. Gusto right back. Hato left back. Fofana and Cole the heart of the centre back positions. Shirky doesn't look to release. Looks to just keep ball. And now they can turn it on. Doku, Nico O'Reilly. Is this the chance? The cutbacks past everyone. Decision making. Wasn't his strong suit there. Thought he was destined to shoot. Hato continues his run. Kusanov across. Hato goes to the ground. I think that's the right call from Darren England. Just throwing himself to ground, Hato. Enzo. Drops it back to Pedro Neto. Palmer's on the edge of the area. Nico O'Reilly getting back to defend. That cross is poor. Riley gave it away now. Everyone needs to just keep their nerve here. Caicedo. Kusanov away. Feels like he's been the centre of attention all day long. Haaland. No foul. Darren England's letting them know now. You got to play. Palmer. Gusto. Too much on it. Neto will retrieve. Chelsea just firing up those engines yet again. Reece James. Tell you what, we're in for a grandstand finish here. Because Chelsea have come to play again. You know, City will look to hit on the break as well. With the players they've got in the park, that is a very, very reliable avenue to goal. Enzo Fernandez is the option. Kusanov is in the way. Here's that penalty shot again. Again, there's nothing in that. Chelsea are a team that are very, very susceptible to dropping themselves to the floor and then grabbing the football. Not a big fan of it. James. Beautiful ball for Palmer. Wide to Malo Gusto. Ball in. Kusanov in the way. Had to be though because João Pedro was there. Gusto again. Palmer. Searching for that left foot. Finding Enzo Fernandez. Neto. Trafford got an important touch. Gusto. Doku there with him. And getting the ball and getting away from Gusto. I couldn't get past Caicedo. It's a Chelsea throw. In dangerous territory. You just feel this next 5 minutes is massive for both clubs. Chelsea need the goal. City need to hold on. They've had the lion's share of things. Chelsea, they just haven't made it count. Enzo continue to pull the strings today. There's João Pedro's chance. Went to ground at the wrong time. Nico O'Reilly. Wanting help. Not getting it. Okay, here down the line for Doku. That's an awful challenge. That has to be a yellow card. Kovacic. O'Reilly, drew it into a passage, and if Doku or Haaland had continued their run, they might have had a chance. There's Prince William, who's obviously got a big game midweek for Aston Villa. I don't think he'll care too much about this one here. They've got a European Cup to secure. City have a back now. Kovacic. Can the veteran make it count? Oh, incisive pass broken up. Bernardo sliding in well and winning that ball back for Manchester City. And Gehi retreating. We're into the 80th minute now. João Pedro's gone out with a cramp there. Oh, gee, just the hyperextension there of the left knee. It's putting too much strain on that calf. I think should just be cramp for the centre forward. And Pep just relaying the messages to Erling Haaland and Antoine Semenyo in this impromptu break. Here's the goal again. Haaland hasn't got his Wembley goal yet, but he got a Wembley assist. And it was because of that fantastic Semenyo finish. Their former Manchester City product, Liam Delap on. Replacing Reece James. Wow. There you go. Big player brought off at a big time. But I guess that's the modern football world with science and injuries and all that like. You can't keep that one alive. City looking to correct the last 2 seasons. Losing this match up to Manchester United and to Crystal Palace in the last few campaigns. Pep Guardiola chasing his 20th trophy with Manchester City. And his 41st overall. Despite how Callum McFarlane has caused him problems this campaign, at this current point in time, he might end up being the last one laughing. Domestic double on the line. Doku feeds in Nico O'Reilly. He's in behind. Haaland's in the middle. It hasn't reached him. Fabulous tracking for Moises Caicedo. Doku. It's Shirky who can turn and is brought to ground. The referee says nothing doing. Enzo finds João Pedro. His first touch gets away from him. Kovacic. It's turned into a bit of a basketball match in the final moments here. Shirky. Return ball for Matheus Nunes on the post. Oh. Nearly snuck it in past Rob Sanchez at his near post. I think it takes a touch off the keeper onto the post in the end, but a massive chance for City to put the final nail in the Chelsea coffin. They're coming again through Bernardo Silva. O'Reilly. Offside. Was this a Robert Sanchez save? Yeah, it takes a nick. And he had to deflect it onto his own post. Oh, here we go. Shirky, oh! Sanchez with a reaction save. We didn't see what happened. It was obviously a Chelsea turnover out the back. And here's Shirky. Absolutely whacked it. But straight at Robert Sanchez. He luckily got a right hand to it. He could parry it over. So, former Manchester United hero in a cup final, Alejandro Garnacho, comes back on to face Manchester City at Wembley. Can he repeat his heroics from 2024? Okay, he did it again. He got in behind well. And he blinded that Chelsea attack. You can't imagine there'll be too many minutes of stoppage time. You think 4 or 5 to be added on. And the Warriors' sign for teams around England is City once again have not looked great. Yet, they've still found a way here to get ahead and to hopefully hold on. Doku getting away from Gusto. Haaland nicked it back. Semenyo fitting in, hurling Haaland. Oh, just couldn't take the ball with him. Got his feet all muddled there. Matheus Nunes. Chelsea need to get this ball back ASAP. Bernardo Silva. Nathan Ake, you can see there on top of screen, readying himself to enter the field of play. Doku. Nunez away from Hato. Dropping it off to Shirky. Shirky wanted to lay it off for Nico Raleigh. Wasn't on the same page as the Frenchman. Chelsea just can't get the ball right now. Bernardo Silva finds the goal scorer Antoine Semenyo. There are numbers in the box, but Semenyo doesn't fancy it. Kovacic's City recycle. All the way back to Kusanov. Diagonal for Doku. He's battling away with gusto and is brought down by the Frenchman. And that's an important free kick at an important time for Manchester City. Only 83,000 in there today. There's a lot of empty seats. Not only at City's end before someone says anything, but also with the Chelsea end as well. City plays short. Doku goes to the bar line and sits that up, but sits it up out of play. As we enter the last minute of the 90 now. Can't imagine 4 to 5 minutes to be added on. So City aren't far away now from a domestic double. The first time they've done that. Oh, it's a great ball on the corner. Doku chasing. Doesn't quite get there. Okay, he rises and wins that duel again. I think he's lost a duel today. Kusanov fizzed it in. Released by Shirky. Now fed into Erling Haaland. Haaland offside. Back underway now with Enzo Fernandez. It is going to be 5 minutes added on. So as expected, City have 5 minutes to go before they can lift another trophy here at Wembley to make it a domestic double in season 25-26. Dangerous ball from Gusto. Delap can never really direct it on towards target. Surprised I haven't seen more of that from Chelsea. Early crosses in and putting that City backline under a little bit more pressure, but different type of striker with João Pedro up there. Oh, great touch around the corner from Shirky. And Semenyo got a gallop on and was bundled over by Moises Caicedo. I'll tell you what, hasn't been his best at the office, Moises Caicedo. Yeah, Enzo and Reece James and even Palmer at times looked much better. He's looked off at just a pace or two. Give and go with Haaland and Shirky, and then Haaland bundled over now by Hato. And City could just almost tick the minutes down by doing this. It's almost not disappointment for Chelsea fans. It's a sense of inevitable on this City side. They always find a way. Garnacho wins that off Semenyo in the corner flag. Chelsea can try and get out now. Caldwell launches that forward. Silva dinking that into Semenyo. He can turn away from Hato. And let that run out of play. So 2 minutes to go now. 2 minutes away from that domestic double. Enzo the flicked header. Kovacic responds. Shirky. Long searching ball. Fofana the first contact. It's Neto. Oh, gee. Big block from Nico O'Reilly. Doku coming the other way. Gusto won it back off him. The Frenchman and the Belgian have gone toe-to-toe all day long. That's a loose touch, though, from Gusto. Bernardo wins it back. Here comes Haaland. This is ominous. Doku. A chance for City to put the game to bed. Shirky. Shirky still. He's run out of grass. He's found Haaland. His touch is poor. That's a foul on Matheus Nunes. He's furious, Haaland. That's a sign of a champion team. Never accepting the poor quality. And he just wanted it here. Yeah, Haaland has half the box to himself. And Shirky takes too long with it. And then when he eventually passes it, it's a fizzed-in ball on the bounce. The anger there is warranted. And the big Norwegian. And there it is. City are champions of the FA Cup once again. A 2-year hiatus. They'll be back climbing those Wembley steps once again. And it's a Semenyo special goal on cup final day. That's the difference today. Chelsea, well, they huffed and they puffed. They couldn't blow the house down, though. In the end, the silky smooth Semenyo finish sets in to be the difference maker today. City champions again. Domestic double for the citizens. Maybe, just maybe, domestic treble on the line if Arsenal drop points. Thanks for joining me, guys, for a great doubleheader tonight on a Saturday. And I'll see you guys hopefully very soon for a few more watch-alongs in season 25-26. Congratulations to Manchester City, champions of the FA Cup once again.